Good evening, everyone. How are you this evening? If you can hear me, please let me know in the comments that you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know that you can hear me. I believe you can see me as well. I didn't know I was muted. So I was saying that you should tell me where you're chatting from and what you do. I believe you can hear me now. Tell me where you're chatting from and what you do. Okay, Godfred says from Ghana. Okay, we're in Ghana. Godfred says I'm a Ghana lecturer, Accra. Okay, nice to meet you, Godfred. Wait, others, tell me where you're listening from, where you're watching from. Okay, Marcella says from Accra, Ghana. I am a policy analyst. Interesting, Marcella. Wait, others. Naomi says I'm a building contractor from Ghana, Accra. Interesting. Those of you on YouTube, I can't see your comments. Tell me where you're watching me from. I'm waiting. I'd like to read from more people before we kickstart. I'd like to read from more people before we kickstart. Tell me where you're watching me from and what you do. So one says 8:10, I will begin. Irene says from Kumasi, Ghana, I am a teacher. Interesting. Modesty is from Upper East Ghana. Okay, Modesty, what do you do? Rennie is a customer care representative from Ghana, Accra. Interesting. I love what we all do. Okay, Alberta is a teacher from Ghana as well. And we have a health worker also from Ghana. And we have a security officer. Interesting. It's really nice to meet all of you. Well done. Thank you for joining. So this evening, I welcome you to the Elevate Your Diction webinar. And my goal for tonight is simple. My goal for tonight is to show you how to transform your speech using my 3-step diction formula. How to make sure that you're speaking better than you joined this webinar without sounding fake or sounding foreign. So the exact 3-step formula that I have used to help myself from where I used to be to where I am now, and I have used for my clients from different part of the world, is what I will be sharing with you tonight. So if you stay until the end of tonight's webinar, I am going to reveal the exact system that used to go from mumbling and being consistently misunderstood to speaking with crystal clear diction that people not just love, but commands attention in any room at all. So hi everyone, my name is Olubukola RB Agbalaya. And before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever been asked to repeat yourself multiple times in conversations? Or have you ever felt embarrassed when people couldn't understand your pronunciation? It can be annoying when you have to repeat yourself over and over and over again. Or perhaps you have watched opportunities slip away because you couldn't articulate clearly. I spoke to a woman earlier this evening, and she shared how she had lost several opportunities in her workplace. She's a technical person, and she shared how she has lost several opportunities in her workplace because her leaders believe that she's not a good ambassador to represent them enough, even though she knows everything. She said they called her guru. So in the workplace, she's called guru when it comes to the technical stuff. But when they need people to represent them out there, they will never call her. And that means she cannot leave where she is. She's not open to promotions. She's not open to reaching out to other people, to leverage networks and to see. So have you ever watched opportunities slip away because you couldn't articulate clearly? Or maybe you've seen others with great speech get promotions and opportunities that you deserve. I get it because I have been there. For years, I struggled with my speech, and I can tell you what it cost me. I remember those years. I tried everything the experts recommended. You would always see me watching YouTube videos around pronunciations and diction. I record myself even when I'm on phone with people. I spent thousands on voice coaching because at a point, I thought it was my voice that wasn't good enough, that I had to drain my bank account just to pay for expensive training, not local trainings, international trainings. But then I realized I was approaching it all wrong because I was only focusing, I was only focusing on the symptoms instead of the root cause of poor diction. That's why you see some women, they struggle with infection. So they keep using a particular drug. The infection leaves for some time, it comes back again. Why? Because you're only focusing on the symptoms, not the root cause. Until you uproot that root causes, that thing will keep reoccurring. It will keep coming back. And the same thing when it comes to speech. So after I was able to do this for years, you know what I discovered? I discovered that great diction isn't about changing your voice. Instead, it is about clarity and correctness. Clarity, you being able to say words the way it should be said in a particular language, which means that for every language, we have its diction. But our focus tonight is on the English diction. And of course, correctness. It is not about changing your voice or sounding foreign or sounding like a robot or an AI for you to have great diction. Rather, it is about speaking clearly so that others can readily understand you. And of course, pronouncing your words correctly. These are the two keys when it comes to diction. And also, there is a simple step-by-step formula that transforms any one speech pattern. So far, you know the formula and you're willing to put in effort. Lastly, you do not need expensive coaches. Rather, what you need is the right system. So I discovered this the hard way. However, you are getting all of this for cheap tonight. In fact, you're getting it for free because, of course, you didn't pay for this session. So you're getting it at ease. So here is the hard way that most people do. You go on YouTube, you watch random YouTube videos, and you're hoping that you get results. You know what that does? It confuses you. Let's start with the fact that when it comes to English, we have different types of Englishes. We have British English. Even in the British English, we have different Englishes. Have you realized that the British people, they speak differently? Those from Spain, the Spanish, for example, or let's even use Nigerian, for example, or Ghanaian. you realize that amongst ourselves, we do not even speak the same way. Same with the British people. They have Scottish, they have Wales, they have Ireland, among other different regional pronunciations. But when it comes to what we are expected to speak, because we were colonized by them, expected to speak the RP pronunciation, which is called received pronunciation. So when you go on YouTube, sometimes you watch different videos. You could watch a video of an American teacher or a British teacher, or perhaps a teacher that is just focusing on the RP pronunciations. And when you compare these three videos together, you realize that they are pronouncing the same word differently, which can lead to confusion. So when you just go on YouTube and you watch random YouTube videos, you would keep confusing yourself instead of getting results. The second thing I see a lot of people do is they record themselves. They keep recording themselves and hoping that they will speak better. How do you think you can do better when you don't know better? It gets frustrating. And eventually people give up, or some of them go further to spend thousands on speech therapy. I'm not saying speech therapy does not work, but those that really need speech therapy are those that have speaking disorder, not just speaking difficulty. So instead, I will be sharing with you tonight the easy way. This easy way has helped over 3,427 people transform their speech. And in the past 12 months, I have helped people from different countries achieve impeccable diction with these same steps I will be sharing with you. Now, I'd like to put up a disclaimer that results are not typical. What that means is individual results may vary. And the results I have so far are those from dedicated students who followed the system precisely. There's a saying that you cannot force the horse to drink water. You can only force it to the river. So if you're here and you're not dedicated to follow the system I'll be sharing with you tonight, you might not get a result. But if you're dedicated to following the system, I guarantee you result. So if you are ready, let me see that you're ready in the chat. Put ready, ready as we proceed. If you're ready, say ready, 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 ready. If you're ready, let me read from you in the chat. Say ready, 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 ready. Very good, Timeless iPhone. Timeless iPhone says ready, ready. Gloria says ready. Godfrey says ready. Okay, I believe we're ready. So let's go. So what is that formula I have been talking about? The formula is what I tagged. Dick Claire. Dick Claire. Now, this formula is not something you can find on Google or you can find in one of those YouTube videos you might have watched before, because I am the one who put together this formula. It is not something I read somewhere. Rather, it is something that I got from years of experience, years of teaching other people, and years of helping myself develop. So if you will be talking about this formula anywhere, please make sure to put accolade, to give accolade to whom accolades is due. Remember to mention that it is Olubukola Halbi Agbalaya who made this. So the formula again is declare. And tonight, we'll focus on learning the first letter in this formula. Each letter in the formula declare has its meaning. The D has its meaning. The I has its meaning. The C has its meaning. The second C, the L, each of them have their meanings. And each has the three-step formula. So it means that my formula contains about 24 steps because each letter in the acronym has a three-step. But tonight, to save time, I will be sharing with you the first letter, which is the D. And the D stands for Diction Fundamental. Please say that. Diction Fundamental. I didn't say Diction Fundamental. Take note of the spelling of fundamental. When you spell fundamental, there is a L at the end of that word. Most times when we want to pronounce words that end with AL, we tend to pronounce the A as a R. So we say fundamental instead of fundamental. So the letter A in this word is silent, which means that when you have words that end with suffix al, like fundamental, like casual, special, the letter A there is silent. So you should not say fundamental, you should not say casual, special. Do not pronounce the A. So again, the D, the first D in my acronym stands for Diction Fundamental, and its 3 steps are as follows. The first step is clear articulation. For you to be able to speak better, you need to clearly articulate your words. The second step is what I tagged pronunciation rules. And the third step is what I tagged connected speech pattern. So let's go. Let's take this one after the other. So remember my first letter, diction fundamental. Diction fundamental. And then I said that diction fundamental has 3 steps. The first step, which is clear articulation. The second, which is pronunciation rules. And of course, the last, which is connected speech. So let's start with the first. Clear articulation. Let me tell you about James, a client of mine. So James is a talented software engineer who was constantly overlooked for client-facing roles. So anytime it is time to meet with a client, to have presentations or to convince a client, James will never come to mind. But when it comes to technical things, when it comes to putting his brain to work, when it comes to creating, remember, he's a software engineer, he was very good at that. So the company retained him to be able to put together softwares, to be able to create solutions for some of the ones they have provided etc. But of course, the most part where he needed to get more money was for him to have client-facing roles, which they would never give him the opportunity to do. Why? Because of his communication. His communication was a barrier. And he tried everything, just like me. He tried different online courses, self-help books. In fact, I laugh at people that read books when they want to improve their communication. Communication has to do with speaking. So you need to speak more instead of reading. Speak more, listen more, and speak more. So James read a lot of self-help books and even attended a lot of speech therapy sessions. But his clarity remained. He was never able to communicate clearly with people. So when James is trying to say the word apple, James might end up saying apple. Or maybe when James is trying to say the word rise, James would end up saying the word lies. Now, the turning point happened when he encountered a special technique, which is called clear articulation. All James needed to do was to implement these techniques at least 7 minutes daily. And luckily for James, he was able to dedicate his time for that. And within 14 days, James improved his clarity that even those in his office started to give accolades to him. So what exactly did James do? Now, do you know that when it comes to speaking any language, you need the sound of those language? And because English is not our mother tongue, it's not our language, most times there are some sounds in English that we're not so comfortable with, or that we do not even know how to pronounce them. So what happens is when we want to pronounce words that have such sounds, we tend to use a sound that is similar to the ones that we have in a language in pronouncing it. So for example, if a Ghanaian wants to pronounce the word comfortable, you hear them say something like comfortable, comfortable. You hear them say things like teacher. Why? Because naturally the sounds in those words that they needed to articulate clearly, that they need to pronounce well, they do not have it in their own languages. So it is just okay for them to find an easy route out and use a sound in their own language that sounds similar to that sound. Let's take the word table, teacher, for example. And Ghanaian will pronounce it as teacher. So in this word, let's consider the last sound in that word, the E and R in that word. So most times, when a Ghanaian wants to pronounce words that ends with E and R, they say something like teacher. They articulate it as brother, pastor, or pasta, etc. So what happens? In English language, there is a sound called the schwa sound. There is a sound called the schwa sound. Here is the schwa sound. What you can see on my screen right now is called the IPA chart. The IPA chart contains all the sounds that we have in English. Some of them we have it in our local languages, some of them we do not have. One of those sounds that we do not have in our local language is this sound. Can you see the sound? It looks like letter E that is turned upside down, or number 6 that is facing the left. This is the sound right here. I believe you can see my spotlight. Now, to articulate this sound clearly, to articulate it correctly, you need to pay attention to your mouth positioning. So for every word, whether you're pronouncing a word in your local language or you're pronouncing the word in English language, your mouth positioning must be correct to help you pronounce that word correctly. So to articulate the schwa sound, the mouth positioning is does. 1, make sure that your speech organs are relaxed. What are your speech organs? Your mouth, your lips, your tongue, your nose, your jaw. Speech organs are those parts of your body that you use when you want to speak. Make sure they are in a relaxed position. And also make sure that your lips are closed instead of opened. So the sound is rightly articulated. Please, I hope you can see my mouth. Let me spotlight my mouth so everyone can see. Make sure you can see my mouth. Make sure you can see my mouth. I'm trying to spotlight for everyone. Okay, yes, I believe everyone can see my mouth now. So remember again, to articulate the schwa sound, make sure your speech organs are in a relaxed position. And then make sure your lips aren't opened. So the sound is uh, 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 uh. The moment I open my mouth, I will be saying another sound. So make sure you're not saying a wrong sound. So for example, if I want to pronounce the word teacher, teacher, can you see at the end of that word, remember it is the E and the R in teacher that makes the schwa sound. An average Ghanaian will say teacher, teacher. You open your mouth. The moment you open your mouth, the E and R there makes a different sound or wrong sound that can cause confusion or can make people feel like, what are you saying? Let's take another word, for example, pastor. So the word pastor. So if I want to pronounce this word, the E and the O and the R at the end of that word is also expected to be articulated with the schwa sound. So it means that at the end of this word, I'm expected to not open my mouth. I should close my mouth. Pastor, not pasta. When I say pasta, my mouth is opened at the end. But that makes it wrong because to articulate the sound at the end of that word, my mouth should not be opened. It is a closed sound. My speech organs should be in a relaxed position and my lips should not be open. Pasta. So the first thing that helps you to have clear articulation is your speech organ positioning. We call it the mouth positioning techniques. So for each sound that we have on this IPA chart, it has its mouth positioning. But of course, I can't go through all of that tonight, which is what I will just select a few of them. So the first one I've talked about is the schwa sound right here. So how do I know when I have a schwa in a word? There are different ways to identify them. But the simplest way to identify them is to watch out for words that ends in E and R and O and R. So if you have a word that ends in letter E and letter R, there is a high possibility that the E and the R at the end of that word make a schwa sound. Also, if you have a word that ends in O and R, there is a high possibility that the O and the R end makes the sound teacher, pastor. So let's take a few word examples. So I can have the word sailor, not sailor or sailor. I can have the word, excuse me, sister, not sister. Brother, not brother, right? And so many other words like that. So when you have a word that ends in E and R, or the word ends in O and R, then the ER or the OR should be articulated as the schwa. Excuse me. So again, how do you articulate the schwa? Make sure your speech organs are in relaxed position and do not open your mouth. And let's also take the word comfortable, for example. Now, this word, most Ghanaians pronounce it as comfortable, right? It's not table. I understand that when we have the word table, we pronounce it as table. But when we then add it to this word, Ghanaians will change it to table, comfortable. It's not table. So what happened first? You should understand that in this word, the letter A there makes the schwa sound. So it's not table. Remember the schwa sound again. Do not open your mouth wide. It's table, comfortable, So what happens to the O and the R here? The O and the R aren't saying anything. So you should not say comfort. There is no O there. The O and the R should not be heard. The O and the letter R there are not saying anything. It's conf. Then the A after the T makes the schwa. Comfortable, not comfortable. Comfortable. So if I pronounce this word rightly, I would have comfortable, just 3 syllables, instead of comfortable, instead of 4 syllables. Please, if you are clear with my explanation, let me know before I proceed. I do not want to overwhelm you with information. Please, if my information is clear, if my explanation is clear, let me know before I proceed. Let me know before I proceed. We have 44 sounds in English, but we're just talking about one of them right now. And the one I'm talking about is a vowel sound. It is called the schwa sound. The schwa sound is a powerful sound. It's one of the sounds that you need to harness to help you speak better. Okay, very well. Somebody says good, another says it is clear. Good. So let's proceed. So that is it about the schwa sound. Now let's go to this next sound here. This is also a vowel sound, and it is articulated. Watch my mouth again. Now to pronounce this sound correctly, your lips should be in a relaxed position. Your tongue should be in the middle, somehow relaxed. And then you make the sound long. I don't know if you can see my tongue, but my tongue is relaxed. My tongue is comfortable where it is. uh, uh, uh. Another thing you must note about this sound is it's a long sound. Let's compare this sound to the schwa sound. You realize that the schwa sound does not come with two dots. There are no two dots right here in the schwa sound, but there are two dots in the sound. Do you notice that? So vowels with two dots in English, when you have a vowel sound that has two dots beside it, it means that when you want to pronounce that sound, you should pronounce it long. Make the sound long. So let's take a few word examples. Now, this word, for example, church. An average Ghanaian will say church. I'm going to church. No, no, no. Now note this. When you have letter R, this is called letter R. Some people pronounce it as Aru. No, it is not Aru. Say R. So when you have letter R beside a vowel letter, when you have letter R beside a vowel letter, most times the vowel letter becomes a long sound. So because I have letter R beside letter U, the letter U there will make a long sound. So an average Ghanaian will say church, church, church. No. The first error is the vowel there, the U and the R there, must make a longer sound. The second error is your mouth positioning. It is not it is not church. It is church. Ch, uh. I hope you can see my mouth for the U and R sound. Uh, church. It is not church. Can you see the difference in my mouth opening? First, my mouth is not as opened as the way an average Ghanaian would pronounce it. An average Ghanaian would say church, but the sound is uh, uh, church. Now, the second thing you must pay attention to in this word is most times when you have U and R in the middle of a word, or you have E and R in the middle of a word. For example, if I have the word heard, or maybe I have I and R in the middle of a word, most times these combinations make the sound. Now remember, when we were talking about the schwa, I said when you have E and R at the end of a word, don't mix it up. For the E and R should be in the middle. Sometimes it could be at the beginning, but it's often seen or heard in the middle of words. So I would not say head. I would say heard, herdsman. I would not say girl. I would say girl. Girl, I am a big girl. The girl is in the church to see the pastor, not the girl is in the church to see the pastor. No, right? The teacher taught us about the herdsman, not the teacher taught us about the headsman. No, mouth positioning. Remember, that is the first key, clear articulation. To clearly articulate your words, your mouth positioning is key. So for the first sound, the short sound, your mouth should be in a relaxed position. Your lips should not be opened. For the second sound, the your mouth, your lips are kind of opened, not so opened. I could say half opened. And then you make the sound longer. Let's take one more sound and I move to step 2. So this time, I think I would love us to take a consonant sound. So I would love us to take these consonant sounds. Now, in our native language, in our local languages, when we have T and H in words, most times we pronounce it as a T or as a D. So if I want to pronounce the word SMOOTH, I would likely say smooth or smooth. If I want to pronounce the word BATH, I'll likely say bat or bath. Some people even say bath. No. In English language, when we have letter H after letter T, the H affects the T. Sometimes the H makes the T to make a voiced consonant sound, which is articulated. Here is the symbol. Here is the symbol here. This symbol is rightly articulated. Put your tongue in between your teeth like this. Air. Very well. Now, if I have the word B-A-T-H, the right way to pronounce the word is outside. Bath, not bath or bats. No. Let's take another example. If I have the word, let me clear all of these examples so we are not confused. So I'll write them again. So I have the word bath. I can have another word like the word math. Math teacher, not math teacher. No, math teacher. I can also have the word cloth. A lot of people pronounce this word as clothes. No, the word is cloth. Cloth. And you see my tongue outside. Cloth. I can have anthem. Anthem, not anthem. I can have the word faith. My name is Faith, not Faith. And so many other words like that. So remember, all of these words, they have TH. And because of the H after the T, we should articulate the T and H as put your tongue in between your upper teeth and your lower teeth and blow air. Now let's talk about the second sound, which is also a TH sound. This one is called the voiced TH sound. For this sound, to articulate it correctly, here is the mouth positioning. Put your tongue in between your upper teeth and your lower teeth. This time, make a vibration. Make sure you can feel vibration on your vocal cord. This is our vocal cord. Here is our vocal cord. So make sure that when you're saying that sound, you can feel vibration here. So the sound is the. Here is the symbol down here. The. Remember, it is the voiced TH sound, and it is articulated the. So some of the words that have the sound, we have the word bathe. An average person would pronounce this word as bathe. Bathe. It is not a D that is there. It is a the. We can have the word smoothie. An average person would say smoothie. Without their tongue outside, they would articulate the TH like a letter D. No. Make sure your tongue is outside. Smoothie. We can also have the word clothes. Now note the spelling of this, clothes. There is a E after the TH. There is another spelling that doesn't have the E after the TH. That one is pronounced cloth. Once you have the E after the TH, it becomes clothes, clothes, clothes. And so many other word examples like that. So the question now will be, how do I know which of the TH words makes the voiced TH sound? Which one makes the voiceless TH sound? It's quite simple. You realize that most people, they either articulate TH words as a T or as a D. Let's try to pronounce all of these words without clear articulation. The first one, I will say bat. I will pronounce the TH like a T, which is wrong, right? Let's go down to this one. Another person will pronounce this one as bathe. such person will articulate the TH like a D as well, which is wrong. So here is the trick. It's a trick, it's not a rule. Those TH words that you pronounce like a T, most of them make the th sound. Put your tongue in between your teeth like this and blow air. Now, those other TH words that an average person pronounces like a D, they are pronounced like this, the. Put your tongue in between your teeth again, but this time make vibration. Try to make sure that your cord vibrates. The first again, the second, the. If you're clear about these sounds, please let me know in the chat. If you understood these two sounds I just taught, let me know in the chat before I proceed. Should you understood these two sounds I just talked about, the th and the sound, please let me know in the chat before I proceed. I want to be sure that the time we're spending together is worth it. It's not just how far, but how well. So I want to know if you're clear about these. Okay, I can see one comment. Is it just one person that I have here? Let me know. Have you gone to sleep? If you have, maybe I should end the session and go to sleep too. My husband is actually waiting. So if you feel this is not worth it, maybe we should just end it so I can go and sleep as well. Okay, I can see other comments now. Okay, thank you. So let us proceed then. So now let's practice with these examples that I have. So bath. My tongue should be outside, very important. Math. Cloth. Anthem. Faith. The second one, bathe. Smoothie. Clove. Good. So now we have learned 4 sounds. Remember, there are 44 sounds. It means that we still have 40 sounds to go. But we cannot do that tonight. Now remember the story of James that I shared with you. James had issues with clearly articulating his thought. So when James is trying to say onion, James will say onion. And of course, they would not understand him well because he's working with an international company. So it was a whole lot of issue with him, right? So what I did with James was to share this clear articulation techniques with him for all the 44 sounds. And then we did something. So I taught James every day, try to put aside 7 minutes, just 7 minutes. You could do less than 7 minutes. It depends on your schedule. To pick a particular sound. So tonight we have learned 4 sounds. Which of these sounds do you think you really struggle with? Maybe you're one of those that say church and it's causing confusion wherever you are. Or people have to ask you to say it over and over again, right? We have learned that it is not church, it is church. So maybe you want to focus on just that one sound. From tomorrow, you want to give yourself 7 minutes to practice the speech, the speech organ articulation, how your mouth is supposed to show when saying such words. So you want to put together lots of words, excuse me, that have U and R or I and R or E and R in the middle, and you want to start practicing with them, making sure that your mouth is positioned the way it should be positioned. So if you can do that every day, so the first week you pick a particular sound, the second week you pick another sound, the third week you pick another sound. By the end of 1 month, I can guarantee that you would have started sounding better. I can guarantee that. But are you dedicated to do that? That's the question. Are you dedicated to do it? Are you like James, who knew that it was going to lose so much? And he had to. What is the price you would pay if you do not do it? That is the first step. So easy to do. This is something you can do in the bathroom when taking your bath. This is something you can do if you're driving yourself to work, right? This is something you can do when you're doing your makeup, there's a mirror for you to see your mouth positioning. It's something you can always record yourself, or some of us that do Snapchat. While you're recording yourself, you're practicing. These are things that you can incorporate into your daily routine, whatever you do. Now let's quickly go to step 2. So what is step 2? Remember, we're learning 3 steps from my formula declare. The formula has 8, excuse me, the formula has 8 secrets. But tonight I'm sharing with you the first secret out of my 8 secrets. And I said each secret has 3 steps. So we have learned the first step. Excuse me. So note that I said first. I didn't say first step. First, that's the same sound that we have in church. So what is my second step? My second step is what I call pronunciation rules. Pronunciation rules. But when it comes to speaking a language, there are some rules that you must pay attention to help you speak the language well. That reminded me of Sophia. Sophia is a brilliant immigrant with a master's degree. However, she faced frustration with our accent. So every time she wants to speak, there's always this challenge with her accent. That also reminded me of another client of mine, Dotun. Dotun is a Nigerian, and he's having his MSc in IT, and he's in a class where he's the only Nigerian, or let's say the only African, in fact. So the first day in class, it was an online class. So the first day in class, he spoke and they couldn't understand what he was saying. Not because of network issue, but because he spoke in a certain accent that was quite, should I say, funny to them. So it was difficult understanding him. And from that day, Dotun lost his confidence. Even though he paid so much for the course, he's always wary to attend classes. The same thing with Sophia. So there might be some of us like that, where we are shy to testify, to talk about our breakthroughs in church. Some of us, when we go for meetings at work, we don't want to say anything. Some of us, when we're teaching our student can tell where we are from. They can say that, oh, this man is from this part of the world, which is not too good. But then I exposed Sophia to some pronunciation rules that were affecting her pronunciation. The truth is that we have different challenges when it comes to speaking. The challenge might be different from another person. So each person has what he's supposed to focus on. You don't have to focus on everything, because there's some of these things that you have overcome. There's some that you have not overcome. So make sure you figure out which part you need to overcome. Then we start learning pronunciation rules. There are lots of pronunciation rules to learn, starting from the sounds to silent letters, to silent letters, to rhythm, to intonation, and all. This is quite a lot. But tonight, again, just like we did in the first step, I'll share with you 1 or 2 of this, and then we move to the third step. So let's start with what I call, excuse me. Let's start with what I call vowel length. Vowel length. Now, earlier, when I showed us the IPA charts, let me bring it back. We realized that there are some vowels that have 2 dots. There are some that don't have 2 dots. And I said that those with 2 dots, they are the long vowels, while those without dots, they are the short vowels. So in English language, when we are speaking, whether we are saying words in isolation or we are talking in sentences, we are expected to pay attention to the length of the words that we are saying. It means that when you're saying a word that has a short sound, you're expected to make sure that the word is short. And when you're saying a word that has a long sound, you are expected to make sure that the word is long as well. Let's take two simple examples. Look at this word, SIT and SEAT. Most people articulate these two words the same way. SIT, we pronounce it as sit. SEAT, we pronounce it as seed. But an average person will pronounce these two words the same, seed, seed. In fact, I know some teachers who teach these words as homophones. Homophones are words and different spellings. But this is not true. That is because the first word has a short vowel. A. The letter I in that word sounds A. Sit. Sit. The second word has a long vowel. The E and A in that second word sounds E. Seat. Sit. Seat. Not the same pronunciations. These words are not pronounced the same way. There are lots of other words like that. Let's take one more word. BED and BIRD. BED is pronounced bed. BIRD is pronounced bird. But as an average African speaker of the English language would say something like bed, bed, we would pronounce the two words the same way. That is wrong. Aside from the fact that they make different sounds, they also do not have the same length. So the question will be, how do I identify these sounds in the words? How do I know when a word has a short sound and when a word has a long sound? There's also the glide sound, but let's just talk about the long and the short sounds tonight. One way to know if a word has a short sound is to figure out the number of vowel letters you have in it and its position. Most times, not all the times, take note, most times, when you have a word that has just one vowel letter and the word has two other consonant letters, we call them CVC word. It means that the beginning of the word is a consonant letter, the middle of the word is a vowel letter, and the last letter is a consonant letter. CVC word, consonant, vowel, consonant. When you have such formation of words, most times the vowel sound there will be a short vowel. An example is sit. The first letter is a consonant, S. The second letter is a vowel, I. The last letter is a consonant, T. Consonant, vowel, consonant. So most times, such letter, the letter I there will be a short vowel. Another is bed, B-E-D. The first letter is a consonant. The second letter is a vowel. And the last letter is also a consonant, 4%. So it means that the short vowel there will make a short vowel sound, bed. Most times, not all the times, remember. Now let's go to long vowels. Now, when you have a word, sometimes if the word has double vowel letters, like in the word seeds, like in the word seed, seed has double vowel letters, E and A. So because of the letter E and the letter A there, because they are double, there is a high possibility that the vowel there will be a long one, seed. Sometimes as well, where you have letter R after a vowel letter, like in the word bird, the letter R there would make the vowel letter I, it could be any other vowel letter, and change it to a longer sound. Bird, bed, bird, sit, seat. I hope you can pay attention to the length. Can you hear the length? One has a short vowel, the other has a long vowel. Now let's try these words in a sentence. So even in sentences, you are expected To pronounce, excuse me, you are expected to pronounce the words accordingly. Means that those that have the short vowels, make sure they're short. Those that have the long vowels, make sure they are long. So the first sentence, sit on the seat. Sit on the seat. Sit on the seat. The second one, I have the bird is on the bed. The bird is on the bed. The bird is on the bed. Now, I'm doing two things at the same time. First, I'm making sure that my words are clearly articulated. Remember, that was my first step. Sit on the. Look at the word the. It has T and H. So my tongue must be outside. The. Sit on the. And the last word, seed. The second thing I'm doing is I'm making sure that I pay attention to the length of the vowels. The first word, sit, it has a short vowel. So I make sure that I pronounce the word short. I do not make it long. The second word also has a short vowel. On, make it short, not long. The next vowel also has a short vowel. The. Excuse me, let me quickly fix my light. Okay, it's back. The. It also has a short vowel, not a long vowel. The. Seed. It has a longer vowel. Seed. So I must make sure it is long. So my sentence again. Sit on the seat. I should not say sit on the seat. It is not sit on the seat. It is sit on the seat. Sit on the seat. Remember at the beginning I said diction is not about your voice. It is not about changing your voice. I don't have to say sit on the set. I don't have to talk through my nose. Sit on the set. I don't need it. All I need is to clearly articulate my words, pronounce the word correctly, and then pay attention to the length of the words. The second, the bird is on the bed. The T and H. My tongue must be outside, and then it has a short vowel. The bird, bird. There is letter R after letter I. So because of that, I should make the word long. The bird is on the. Is as a short vowel. On has a short vowel. The has a short vowel. Bed has a short vowel. The bird is on the bed. So did you notice that because I made my words appropriate when it comes to their length, there's a way the sentence is forming, like it's rhythmic. English language is a rhythmic language. It's not a flat language. It's rhythmic. So there's wrong for me to say the bed is on the bed. The bed, let's form the rhythm together. The bed is on the bed. My voice is flat, no rhythm. It's just like when you're singing and using a flat tone, no rhythm, nothing to spice it up. But because you're paying attention to the length, your voice forms a rhythm, natural rhythm that would not make you sound fake. Now, pay attention to my rhythm now. The bird is on the bed. The bird is on the bed. It's where from the bed is on the bed. The first sentence, sit on the seat. Sit on the seat. It's different from sit on the seat. So when you pay attention to the length of the vowels in a word, it helps your rhythm. It helps you come up with a natural accent. You're not sounding foreign. You're not sounding fake. You're not sounding like AI. You're not sounding robotic. You're not sounding annoying or appalling. Is that it? So that's one of the pronunciation rules that you must pay attention to henceforth. Another pronunciation rules that is important, they're all important, there are a lot of them, but another one that I'd like to talk about tonight is silent letters. In English language, when we spell a word, when a word is spelt, sometimes there are some letters in that word that you should not say, that you should not pronounce. Earlier, we saw the word comfortable. It's not comfortable. So in that word, for example, the F-O-R, in that word, the O and the R there is silent, not comfortable. It's comfortable. Comfortable, not comfortable. What happened? The O and R in that word are silent. We should not say them. So that a lot of other words like that, that the letters there, even though you can see them, but to help you pronounce your words correctly, you must ignore them when it comes to pronunciations. Let's consider some of such words. Excuse me. So I can have the word receipt. A lot of people pronounce this word as receipt. It is not receipt. The P should not be heard. Receipt. Don't say receipt. Another one is grammar. A lot of people say grammar. It's not grandma. The D should not be heard. Say grammar. My grandma is sleeping in the room. Not my grandma is sleeping in the room. We can also have the word debts. When you owe someone, you are in debt. The B in that word is silent. Debt, not debt. The B should not be heard. Debt. Don't say debt. Say debt. You owe some debt, not you owe some debt. Now you might be wondering, how do I then pronounce this one? This one is death. Remember, we have learned TH. The first one, the one that means that you owe someone, does not have a H after it T. So just say debts. Your tongue is inside. The other one, DEATH. That one has a H after the T. So your tongue must be outside. Death. Is that okay? So that's death. We can also have the word cupboard. It's not cupboard or cupboard. Cupboard. The P is silent. Cupboard. Cupboard. Not cupboard. You can also have the word listen. I hear a lot of people pronounce this word as listen. They change the S to a Z. No, do not change the S to a Z. The S remains a S. Listen, sin, listen. The T should not be heard. Listen. Don't say listen. And don't say listen. Just say listen, listen, listen. Right? So we have receipt, not receipt. The P should not be heard. Let me cross out the letters that should not be heard. So you have receipt. The P should not be heard. You have grammar. The D should not be heard. You have debt. The B should not be heard. You have cupboard. The P should not be heard as well. And you have listen. The T should not be heard. There are lots of words with silent letters. There are words that have silent A, words that have silent B, silent C, silent D, until silent Z. So you must know these words. And I have an ebook that contains those words from silent A to silent Z. They're listed out that would help you. Some people will be getting it for free tonight at the end of this session. So again, we're learning my 3-step formula for my first secret from the secret Declare. I mentioned that Declare is an acronym, which means that each letter in there has its meaning. The D has its meaning, the I has its meaning, and each meaning has its 3 steps. But tonight we're learning the first letter, which is the D, and it means diction fundamental. And then we have learned the first and the second step. The first step is clear articulation, where we learned that your mouth positioning helps you to be able to clearly pronounce a word, so that when you're trying to say the word death, somebody is not thinking you're saying the word death. How you position your mouth matters. So we're able to learn the schwa sound. We have the schwa sound in words with er or or at the end of a word. To clearly articulate the schwa sound, make sure that your mouth is in a relaxed position, your lips aren't opened, and then you say We also learned the other sound, We also learned the two th sounds. And then we went to the second step. We talked about pronunciation rules. The first pronunciation rules I talked about is your vowel length. Remember, the vowels have long vowels and short vowels. We learned how to identify the long vowels in words and the short vowels in words. And we said that when you see them, make sure that you're pronouncing them appropriately. Those with long vowels, make sure they're long. Those with short vowels, make sure they are short. So that it gives your English a kind of rhythm that helps people to note, that helps you rather. It helps you to showcase a better English skill. So instead of you speaking English in a way that people can easily say that, oh, this person is from this part of the word, and this person is from this part of the word, it helps you to speak English in a natural sound, such that you have this natural accent that people can easily understand without sounding fake, sounding foreign, or even sounding robotic. Then we talked about silent letters. Like I said, there are silent letters from silent A to silent Z. There's a lot of them, but we can learn all of them tonight. So let's quickly go to the last step for tonight. And that is connected speech. Connected speech pattern. Have you ever watched a movie and it seemed like you need to read the subtitle before you can understand what they are saying? If you have, please give me an I in the comments, because I have watched several movies before now where I would always have to read the subtitles. Sometimes I would have to ask my sisters and my brother to rewind the movie over and over again. And sometimes I am still lost. I still don't know what they are saying. It seems like they are doing some akadabra in there. So if you're like me, or if you have ever experienced that, please give me an I5 in the comment. Let me know if I'm not alone. If you have watched movies or you've listened to a sermon or something, and I will get to questions. Edmund, I will get to questions shortly, right? I'll get to questions shortly. Shortly, I'll start to attend to questions. I'll start to attend to questions shortly. But now let's just pay attention to the steps so that we do not get distracted. So you can just note your questions in your notepad so that when it's time for questions, you can send the questions again. Because by the time I get to questions, the questions might have gone off. So just note the questions somewhere so that when we get to questions, you can send it. Okay, timeless iPhone. Yes, thank you. I'm glad that you came out straight. I know that a lot of people are experiencing it, but they don't want to show their faces, which is, of course, fine. Thank God for not making me alone. Yes, I know a lot of people experience this. You're watching a movie, except you do not watch foreign movies. You're watching foreign movies, or maybe you meet native English speakers somewhere and you're having this conversation, and it seems like there's just said a sentence where at the beginning of that sentence it's clear, the middle of the sentence is not clear. It seems like they have just said a word that you've not heard before, that you don't even know the meaning, and then the end of the sentence is clear as well. That is what we call connected speech. Apart from you being able to speak better, you must also be able to understand people who speak better. You must be able to understand them. It hits your confidence. It helps it. It helps your confidence. It helps you to avoid mumbling. It gives you that morale that, yes, I can do it. That reminds me of a client I worked with from Instagram. She's a lawyer. And then she traveled out. You know, when the Japa syndrome happened. So she traveled out, and then, like I said, she's a lawyer. So when she got to a new country, she did few exams and all, and so she was able to start to practice as a lawyer. But then this thing happened. he lost confidence. Because during argument in the court, it seemed like, what is this other man saying? I'm lost. I can't hear it again. Or when the judge is giving precedence, it's like, oh goodness, what are they saying? Also, a friend of mine who gave birth in the UK recently shared her experience as well. There's also this TikTok lady who traveled to the UK. I don't know her name. She also shared a video of how she struggled in the supermarket when she was trying to buy some of her kitchen utensils. Because they will say something and it seems like, what are they saying? I don't understand. So for you to overcome that barrier of not getting what others are saying, because they're pronouncing words in a certain way that is new to you or different from what you know, you must understand what we call connected speech. In English language, the way we pronounce a word in isolation is different from the way we pronounce the word when it's in a sentence. I'll repeat that. In English language, the way we pronounce a word in isolation, when you have a word in isolation, the way you pronounce that word in isolation is different from the way you would pronounce the word when the word is alone. Let's take, for example, the word is. Very simple word, right? Small word. The word I and S. Clear. In isolation, we pronounce this word as is, right? As an average person, you just say is. Now, in isolation, in English, the word is rightly pronounced is. The S sounds like a Z. Is. Z. Z. The S sounds like a Z. Is. Now, when the word is in a sentence, the word can be pronounced in other different ways. It can be pronounced as the, without the A sound. Sometimes it can be pronounced as is. The A sound changed to a schwa, is. It's a C. How do you know when it changes? By learning connected speech. Let's take another example, THE. Another simple word, isn't it? Sometimes you hear people pronounce the word as the. Sometimes they pronounce it as the. The. Sometimes they pronounce it as the. E to C. This word in particular has three pronunciations. So how do you know which one they're talking about when you're not familiar with these things? There are lots of ways connected speech work, but the one I would like us to focus on tonight is what we call linking R. Linking R. This happens when you have a word that ends with letter R and the next word starts with a vowel. So if you have a word that ends with letter R in a sentence, if the next word in that same sentence starts with a vowel, you are expected to link the R to the vowel letter. So take, for example, I want to read the sentence. A car is in the park. Let's assume I want to say this sentence. As an average person, I will read this as a car is in the park. Wrong. First, I need to clearly articulate my words. Second, I need to pay attention to the vowel length. And third, I need to connect some parts of these words together. Some part of this sentence has to be connected. There are different ways you can connect them, but remember we're looking at linking R. So what do I need to do if I want to use linking R? I need to watch out for the word that ends with letter R, like the word car. The last letter there is letter R. And then I need to ask myself, the next letter after that word, is it starting with a vowel sound or consonant sound? If it is starting with a vowel sound, then I need to link the R and the vowel. So if I link that together, by the time I want to read this sentence, the sentence will sound like this. So two words, car and is, will come together and act as one. So instead of saying a car is in the park, I would say a car is in the park. A car is in the park. If you're in a conversation and you're not used to the word car is, and I say something like a car is in the park, if you want to be the truthful to yourself, you might have issues understanding courage. What is courage? But sometimes you can use idea or to use the what is happening at that time to figure out how the word is, to figure out what I'm saying, to have a clue of what I'm saying. A car is in the park instead of a car is in the park. Let's take another example. So if I want to say this, pastor and wife. Now look at this word. Remember, clearly articulate your word, so don't say pastor. Then pay attention to the length of the word pastor. It has a long vowel and has a short vowel. Wife has a glide vowel. I talked about glide vowels briefly earlier. Then I need to pay attention to pronunciation rules, making sure that as I read them, I make sure that I'm using the right length and I'm paying attention to silent letters. And of course, lastly, I need to connect my words. So we're talking about linking R. Is there any word here that has letter R at the end? Yes, the word is pastor. So because it has letter R at the end, the next word, does it start with a vowel letter? Yes. So because the first letter ends with letter R and the next word starts with a vowel, I should link them together. So it means I'm going to say pastor and both words, I'll say it as one. Pastor and wife. Instead of pastor and wife, I will say pastor and wife. There are lots of other examples, like mother-in-law. My father and mother are sleeping. Instead of my father and mother are sleeping. Instead of saying my father, let me write it out so it can make more sense. So look at this sentence. Instead of saying my father and mother are sleeping, I can link them. I would link father and, then I would also link mother-a. Mother-a. It sounds like murderer, isn't it? That is linking R. So if I want to read this using connected speech, it becomes my father and mother are sleeping. My father and, instead of father and, becomes father and, mother are, instead of mother are, becomes mother are sleeping. My father and mother are sleeping. Can you see? It makes you sound more fluent. It saves you time. You sound like someone who have mastered the English language, just like the native speakers, without sounding fake. And of course, you can easily understand others when they speak. Should you have conversations with people speaking like this, or you're having a presentation in a global setting, it's easier for you to understand them. Connected speech. Still under connected speech, we have what we call, excuse me. Oh, it's not coming. I wanted to sneeze. Still under connected speech, we have what we call intonation and word stress. I'll briefly talk about intonation. We might not be able to talk about word stress tonight. So what is intonation? Intonation has to do with the tone of your voice. So how you position or how you use the tone of your voice at the end of sentences. Remember I said that English is rhythmic, just like you're singing. You must use the right tone to make the song or the music come out well. When you do not use the right tone, you might sound fake. You sound like a wannabe. You won't really sound the way it should be sounded. So there are two major types of intonation. There are other types, but the two major ones, we have the falling intonation and the rising intonation. The following intonation is used in several positions. For example, when you're asking a WH question. A WH question is a question that starts with a WH word. For example, what is it? An average person would say, what is it? No, because that sentence is starting with a WH word, what. At the end of such question, your tone is supposed to fall, supposed to go down. What is it? Not what is it? What is it? Who are you? Don't say who are you. Where are you going? Don't say where are you going. It's a C. Another time that you can use a pointing to is when you are making a statement. So for example, I'm learning. I'm learning. Instead of I am learning, you say I'm learning. I'm learning. Another is instead of saying she needs to eat, you say she needs to eat. She needs to eat. At the end of such statement, you should fall. Your tone should fall. There are different ways you could use your following intonation, but I'll just focus on these two. First is when asking a WH question, and second is when making a statement. Now let's go to the rising tone, then we take questions before I proceed. I have a few other things to talk about, but let's really take rising tone and then we go to questions. So rising tone is used when, for example, you're asking a yes or no question. So when you're asking a yes or no question, you can use a rising tone. A yes or no question is a question that when you ask, the person you're asking will say yes or no. For example, are you learning? Are you learning? Your answer will be, yes, I am learning, or no, I am not learning. So that is an example of a yes or no question. At the end of such question, my tone should fall. Are you learning? Not are you learning? Is that your pastor? Not is that your pastor? Is that your pastor? At the end, because it's either you tell me no, he's not my pastor, or yes, he is my pastor. It makes my question a yes or no question. So at the end of such question, my tone should rise. Yes or no question. Another time that I should use a rising tone is when I am greeting with a title. And I'm greeting someone and I'm adding a title, the title of that person or the name of the person. So for example, good morning, Bridget. Good morning, Bridget. I've added the name of the person I'm greeting, Bridget. So my tone should go up, Bridget. Good morning, Naomi. It's not Naomi, it's Naomi. Good morning, Naomi. But if I'm greeting and I'm not adding any name, I would just say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. But if I'm adding a title, good morning, sir, my tone changes to rising, sir. Good morning, madam. Good morning, president, etc. Now, before we go for question and answers, I would love you to quickly go to the WhatsApp group to let me know how the session is going. Right now, we have less than 50 people on the live session, and in the group, we have over 300 people. So I believe that tomorrow, some of them will feel we didn't do it or so. So I'd love you to quickly go to the group where you got the link to join this session. So tell me how the session is going. If it is worth your time, if it is worth your data, if you'd recommend it to any other person, your colleagues at work, your siblings, your partner, let me know in the WhatsApp group. I'm waiting. Let's quickly do that so we can proceed. I want us to be done by 11. We have less than 30 minutes to go. So let's quickly do that. We go to question and answer and we proceed. Quickly go to the WhatsApp group where you got the link to join the session, whether you joined via YouTube or you joined via Zoom. The link, the group where you got the link, quickly go there and tell me how the training is going. If the webinar is worth your time, if it is worth your data, if you'd recommend it, if you're learning, please let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. I am waiting. Okay, Albert, I saw your feedback. Thank you, Albert. That's good. Do not leave the Zoom session. If you're on YouTube, do not leave the YouTube session. We still have a few things to talk about. So do not leave yet. Just minimize. Go to the WhatsApp group and tell me how the session is going. I'm waiting. Okay, Adekba says, I'm loving it. Well done. Note that we don't start a sentence with It should be I am loving it instead of I'm loving it. I await others. I await you. Let's do that fast. Go to the WhatsApp group where you got the link. Tell me how the session is going. Remember, do not leave the Zoom session. Do not leave the YouTube session. Just minimize. Minimize. Go to the group and tell me how the class is going. Minimize. Go to the WhatsApp group and tell me how the class is going. Let me know if it is worth your time. Let me know if it is worth your time. Okay, somebody said it's going well. It's really great to be here. The experience is amazing. Another person says, God bless you, coach, for this. I'm enjoying every bit of the class. Somebody says, I'm feeling smart. You're really good. I'm happy. Yeah, it's going on well. Very educative session. It's very helpful. Very well. Keep it going. Keep it coming. At least it's making me feel good. It's making me feel good, making me know that I'm doing well. Thank you, those that have sent it. If you have not sent yours, please keep sending it. I love to read your feedback. So let's move to question and answer session. If you have questions, please, it's time to ask. Whether you're on YouTube or you are on Zoom, it is time to ask your questions. If you have questions from what we have taught, or what I have taught, what we have learned, or you have other questions around pronunciation and diction, please ask. Feel free to ask. It's time for questions. We'll take about 10 minutes for questions and then we'll proceed. I'm waiting for your questions. Ask your questions. I'm waiting for your questions. Those on Zoom, I've not seen any question. Send in your question. I'm waiting. If you're on YouTube as well, send in your question. It's time for question and answer. Send in your question. I'm waiting for your questions. Okay, how can these words be pronounced? The first word is dirt. Let me write it out so that everyone can see the word dirt. Remember when you have letter R beside a vowel letter, the vowel letter becomes a long vowel. Dirt. You can watch my mouth so you can get the manner of articulation. Dirt. The second word is debts. The letter B in the second word is silent. You do not say the letter B, debt. And the third word is department. Department. Depart. The R after the A makes a long sound. Depart. Then the E there makes a silent, makes the schwa sound. Department. So it is not department, it is department. I hope I've answered that question. Please, could you give us something so that we can be practicing it? Okay. Now, this is a webinar. So on this webinar, we do not allow participants to practice. But we have another course that helps you practice Mondays to Saturdays for 6 weeks. So we have a course where we give participants words, dialogues, exercises to do Mondays to Saturdays to help them practice. Just like what we saw in the in the story I shared about James, Sophia, and Robert. But right here, this is just a webinar. We cannot give you that opportunity. Okay, so let's proceed. So any other question? I've seen just 2 questions and I think I've answered them. Any other question? Let me quickly check on YouTube. So there are no questions, we can proceed. Any other questions? If you have your questions, please send them in. If you have questions, please send them in. I'm waiting. If you have any question, please send it in. If you have any question, please send it in. I'm waiting for your question. Do we have questions? Okay, it seems I'm a very great teacher, such that everything that I have taught you is clear. No questions, so I'll proceed then. Since there are no, somebody says, can we join the platform and have access to the materials? What platform and what materials? I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about. Please expatiate that question. Go, while you're expatiating, I will proceed now. So if you still have questions, feel free to drop them. I'll go back to questions again. But right now, I don't have any pending question. Excuse me, so I will proceed. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about the cost of poor diction in your life. Is it missed promotions? Or you've lost business opportunities because you cannot communicate your ideas, your solutions well? Or maybe some of you, you lack confidence. Your confidence has diminished. Just like the story of Dotun that I shared. Or maybe you have social anxiety. Some of us cannot talk in public because we are scared that we might say a word wrongly and people might laugh. I worked with a woman. Her husband, at the time I worked with her, was vying for the post of governorship in a state. And then she had to attend my personalized class because she's scared that if her husband eventually become governor, how will she be able to address people? She didn't want people to take her video and post everywhere like they did for one of Nigerians' past president's wife. For some of us that know who I'm talking about, where we have lots of reels and short videos everywhere where she speaks English in a ridiculous way. So think about the cost of poor diction in your life. Think about it. Would you agree with me that it's been time well spent so far? And the truth is, I could not possibly cover everything we need in just this webinar. We can't learn everything because what I have to teach you is declare 8 secrets. Each secret has 3 steps. So if you multiply 3 by 8, that's about 24, if my math is right. We can learn all of that in one webinar, in 2 hours. Plus, it is not about learning, it is about mastering. There are some things that you need to start to do on your own that I need to share with you to really help you get that result faster. And that is why I have created a special offer so that you can get everything you need to transform your speech. And if you act fast, I am going to give you a very special deal. Look, we both know that speech patterns are deeply ingrained. Some of us here, we have been speaking a certain way for over 30 years. Some of us are 40 years, some are less than. So you do not expect that the way you've been speaking for decades, you want to change it in one night. It doesn't work like that. I won't lie to you. So trying to fix all of this on your own is also trying to see your back. without a mirror. Can that even work? Imagine you're trying to see the back of your head without a mirror, which is why you need a system. Not just a system, but a proven roadmap that has worked for thousands of people from different part of the world. I've worked with people from over 12 countries. And that is the same system I am giving to you at a platter tonight. Imagine the feeling when you can speak and people can understand you immediately. You don't have to repeat yourself. Imagine that you can express your brilliant ideas, your solutions, without saying it over and over again. Imagine how you feel, that confidence that you would have whenever it is time for you to speak. Maybe that authority and clarity that your voice will project when you work on yourself. And this exactly is what we do at the Diction Mastery Academy. The Diction Mastery Academy will help you become a confident, clear, and eloquent speaker within just 6 weeks. James started the 6 weeks course, and in 14 days, for 6 weeks, you're going to learn Mondays to Saturdays. So you're learning 6 days a week for 6 weeks. That is 36 days. You're learning, you're practicing, you're implementing for mastery for 36 days. There's a saying that if you do something over and over again for 21 days, that thing becomes a part of you. Now imagine doing that same thing for 36 days. And you're not just doing it blindly, you're following a proven roadmap. People will say follow who know road. You're following someone who have done the same thing for herself and thousands of other people out there. James did the same thing and he got results in just 14 days. Sophia did the same thing and she got results in less than 2 weeks. There's a feedback from someone from Kenya who says she got out result in just 2 weeks in the training. We'll get to all of these feedback very soon so that you can know they are real feedback from real people. So at the Diction Mastery Academy, we would help enhance your communication abilities to the point where your words command attention. Would help skyrocket your confidence such that you can speak anywhere, anytime to anyone. Would also help elevate your professional image to new heights, such that at work you become a new version of yourself. You will stop hiding behind the curtain or stop hiding behind other people's idea. You will be able to voice out your own idea, your own solution, and come up with your own strategies comfortably. In the academy, we ensure personalized attention and we closely track the progress and transformative journey of each participant, which makes this a highly sought after opportunities for those eager to improve their speech. So in the academy, every day you learn Mondays to Fridays. All you need is 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes, in fact. You learn via the e-learning platform. Each lesson has an exercise for you to do. You do the exercise. Then each exercise has an assignment. All of this takes less than 7 minutes. You do the assignment. You submit the assignment in our assignment WhatsApp group, where we have our instructor listen to each assignment and give feedback to each person's assignment. So we are not giving a general feedback. We're giving feedback to each person because we understand that each of us have different struggles, different communication difficulties. So we are not attending to everyone as one. We are attending to each person because we understand that each person has its own goal. Now, here is what you would get in the Diction Mastery Academy. You get access to our e-learning platform where you can learn at any time during the day or night. You can learn early in the morning, late in the morning, late in the afternoon, late in the midnight, anytime that is comfortable for you. Whether you're a student or you're a lecturer or you're an entrepreneur or you're a teacher or you're a security officer or you're a public analyst, whatever you are, you can create that 7 minutes anytime that is convenient for you within the 24 hours in a day. to learn every day and practice. The practice part is very important. We give you opportunity to practice every day, and we give feedback for each of your practice, each one, every day. You also get access to 55 practical training sessions. Aside from what you do daily, you get access to 55 practical training sessions. These sessions are practical. We come on Zoom, we listen to you, not you listening to us now. We listen to you and give feedback to each person. Because we want to be sure that those voice notes you were submitting during the week, you were the one who submitted them, not someone else. So we want to be sure that you're doing what you have to do daily to get results. You also get access to our quizzes. These quizzes are what you submit on the assignment group Mondays to Fridays. You get access to 12 live training sessions. These are done on Fridays and on Saturdays at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. on Fridays, and on Saturdays we meet on Zoom where we practice. Aside from practicing with the Diction Queen, you also have the opportunity to practice with other instructors. You also have opportunities to practice with other participants on the course in the academy. So we have what we call the breakout room, where we divide everybody on the Zoom session. So for example, right now on the Zoom session, let's assume we have 100 people on the Zoom session. So we divide these 100 people into smaller groups where we could have like 8 people or 10 people in a group where they practice together and they get feedback. Plus, you have access to our private WhatsApp group and unlimited support from the Diction Queen. Now, who is the Diction Master Academy for? It is for professionals that are seeking promotions. It is for non-native English speakers. You are not a native English speaker. A native English speaker is somebody that was birthed and bred in an English-speaking country like the UK or the US. It is also for people that have a regional accent. If you're someone that when you speak, people can easily say, oh, this is where this person is from, then you need to be in the academy. Or if you're tired of being misunderstood, then you need to be in the academy. Now, here is how the academy works in 4 steps. The first step is you register for the academy. The second step is you log in your membership e-learning platform. Once you register for the academy, we give you access to the e-learning platform where you can log in anytime during the day or the night, anytime in the 24 hours. You watch the training and complete the quiz. This takes less than 7 minutes to do. And then you join on live sessions with me on weekends, on Fridays and on Saturdays. Should you miss any live session, we'll do a replay where you can watch and practice on your own and send to us. Excuse me. So I had 2 choices. First choice is to go cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible. But the truth is, this would not incentivize my value. Now, the second option is to require a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to guarantee your success. And it is that success that I am really after. I want you to be my next success story. Somebody sent me a message earlier this afternoon. It was an SMS, and it said, you are an answered prayer. Thank you. That's what I want to hear from people. Being an answered prayer. I hear a feedback from some of our participants. This is from someone from Kenya. Her name is there. You can read through. She said, the class has been an insightful one. What excites me most is how you carry everyone along in the practical session. The class are practicals. She said, your corrections are made with love, and I look forward to learning without being scared of making mistakes. It was 2 weeks in training when I emerged the best speaker in a debate competition. And she said, just 2 weeks out of 6 weeks, she's already getting results. She said, while practicing, I heard your voice in my head, pronouncing those words correctly. Blah, 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 blah. This is a training for anyone who is ready to speak right and speak well. Okay, here is another feedback. She said, thank you so much, my able diction queen. You have done excellently noble. Excuse me. I have benefited a lot. Honestly, I cannot afford to lose your class for any reason. I'm more than happy. God bless you. Here is another feedback. She says, thank you, Coach Bukola Agbalaya, for all you do. Coach Bukola is doing tremendous work relentlessly in the service of educating who wants to be educated on speaking right. Her videos are so self-explanatory, easy to understand. All you need is follow her leads. That's what I tell people. Just follow my leads, and I guarantee your success. I guarantee you results. The best thing I like in her training is she never leaves your hand until you become master. That is true. The academy is somewhere you can keep learning. Now, the academy runs throughout. You have access to the course, but with the academy, we're giving you access to live sessions for 6 weeks. It means that for 6 weeks, you can join our Zoom live session on Fridays and on Saturdays. Now, the very good thing about the live sessions is after 6 weeks, if you feel you still need the live session, you have access to join. You have the opportunity to join. We will not ask you to join. You keep joining. In fact, we also have an alumni group where we meet to practice once a month, because we understand that sometimes when you leave a community that has helped you grow, when you leave such community, you might forget everything you've learned and get distracted with life. So because of that, everyone who have gone through the academy belongs to an alumni group where we meet once a month to further practice what you've learned and keep you on your toes to make sure you're still who you used to be when you were in the academy. So the academy is a community for people who are really serious about improving their communication skills. It is not just a place to learn. It's a place to learn, to practice, which is very important, and master. That is key. I've met people who have attended diction classes, but at the end, they have nothing to show for it. They are still speaking the way they used to speak. Why? Because they have not mastered it enough before they left the diction classes. Some people attend 3 days diction class. What would that do for you? This is 6 weeks. You're learning Mondays to Saturdays at your convenient time. Now, to join the Diction Master Academy, all you need is $65, and that is about 1,100 cedis. But because you're still here right now, you don't even need half of that money. You don't need up to 550 cedis. Instead, you would get into the academy for just 420 cedis. That is a whopping 68% off. So you get to join the Diction Master Academy for just 420 Ghana cedis. That is the general public price. Plus, you would get my complete refund assurance. If you're really interested in enrolling in the academy, I think you should record me at this point. What the complete refund assurance says is that if you enroll in the 6-week Diction Master Academy and you follow my lead, you do everything I ask you to do, and in 6 weeks you do not get results, I would refund your money. The exact amount you paid, I will refund it. Let me take that again. Should you enroll in the academy tonight, follow everything I ask you to do it diligently, and you do not get results, I will refund your money. Now, in addition to paying 420 Ghana cedis instead of 1,100 Ghana cedis, you also get all of these bonuses. I have 20 short pronunciation videos. This would help you master tricky sounds and help you speak with clarity and confidence. I sell this for 210 cedis, but I will give this to the first 10 people to enroll tonight. I would also give you my vocabulary development PDF. This would help you to expand your word power and help you speak more fluently. If you're someone that when you're speaking, you get to a point you're not sure of the words to use, it seems like you can't remember any word right now, then you need my vocabulary development PDF. I sell this for 51 cedis, but I'll give it to you if you enroll tonight. This will be for the first 30 people to enroll tonight. Also, I'll give you my video on how to never be at a loss for words. This is for people that when they ask them to speak in an impromptu setting, they don't know what to say. It seems like all their thoughts have disappeared. I'll give you this video. I saw this video for 110 cedis, but I'll give it for free to the first 10 people who enroll tonight. Now, if all of these if all of these did was just to transform your speech pattern, so you never had to repeat yourself again, would it be worth it? I'm asking you a question. Do you think it's worth it that you get all of this and you don't have to worry about your speech? If all of this would help you speak with clarity and confidence that commands respect in any room, would it be worth it? Imagine you go to anywhere and you can speak comfortably and you can command respect. I was talking to a pastor like 2 days ago, and he said that what's the use of you having ideas that people do not want to hear? He said there are some people that when they talk, because they have beautiful diction, people would naturally listen to them. Even if you're speaking jargons, they just want to listen. And there's sometimes you have a lot to say, you have substance to deliver. But because of how your voice have sounded at the beginning, because of how you pronounce your words, people are not even interested in listening. If all of these can open doors to promotions and opportunities that have held you back by your speech, will it be worth it? I can assure you it is worth it. So if you were to work with me one-to-one, I have a one-to-one class. I spoke about that earlier. You will be paying me over 3,000 Ghana cedis for just 8 sessions. That's how much I charge, 3,000 Ghana cedis for just 8 sessions. But the truth is you're getting more value in this comprehensive course. Another thing is you'll also get my bonus on Know Your Silent Words. I talked about having a book where I have all the silent words from A to Z. I sell this for 110 cedis, but you get it for free if you enroll tonight. You'll also get my ebook on English punctuation marks. When I ask that we send our feedback, a lot of people don't even know how to write well. I can say something like, I'm learning, I'm loving it. No, you don't start a sentence with When you're writing a sentence, you need to use a full stop or your question mark to show that it's a question. Your commas must be intact. This ebook would help you. And the first 10 people to enroll tonight will get it for free. You'd also get my ebook on 100 common grammatical errors and their corrections. You want to eliminate embarrassing mistakes and write and speak with confidence. You'd also get this book for free instead of paying 121 cedis. And you would get my video on how to earn more. This is an essential resource for anyone who wants to improve their earning potential. So if you're here and you want to improve how much you earn, you need this video. This video is sold for 252 cedis, but you'd also get it for free should you enroll tonight. Now, all these bonuses make a total of 931 cedis, but you're getting it for free, plus my complete refund assurance. Remember, if you enroll in the academy and you do what I ask you to do, and in 6 weeks you do not get results, I would refund your money. So all of these, you're getting it for just 420 Ghana cedis. However, I have a special offer for the first 10 people who would enroll tonight. So if you want to be one of the first 10 people to enroll tonight and to take this my special offer, I need you to get your bank app ready because this is only for the fastest fingers. It's only for the fastest fingers. So instead of getting into the academy for 420 Ghana cedis, right now, you can get into the academy for just 270 Ghana cedis. Plus, you would get all the bonuses I have promised. That is if you enroll tonight. You'd also get the complete refund assurance, meaning after 6 weeks, if you follow through my lead and do what I ask you to do, and you do not get results, I will refund you the exact money you paid, 270 Ghana cedis. So if you're ready, make your payment right now into the MTN Momo line 0540596356. Chukwebuka Ifesinachi Godwin. Or you can pay to the Vodafone line 0502328878 on support Chidima. Send your payment proof to the group immediately Once we get 10 payments, the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis. Once we get 10 payments, the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis. So if you are really serious about improving how you speak and being a better version of yourself, all that you need is 270 Ghana cedis instead of 420 Ghana cedis. You also get to access all the bonuses I've mentioned. All the bonuses are worth 931 Ghana cedis. And of course, if after 6 weeks you do not get results, I would refund you. Now you have two choices. The first option is to do nothing and not take this leap of faith, which is of course 100% risk-free. You have nothing to lose because after 6 weeks, if you don't get results, I'll refund your money. So there's nothing to lose. You're not losing anything. The second option is make this small investment today, just 270 Ghana cedis. Compare it to all the values you would get in return and just give it a shot. Of course, if it works, great, lucky you. If it doesn't work, just ask for your money back and I will give it to you. That is why I have the complete money bank. Remember, if you sign up today and you implement without getting results, you follow my lead, you do everything I ask you to do and you don't get results, even if it is 5 weeks and 23 hours that you have spent in the academy and you have not got any results, after following everything I ask you to do, just let me know and I will give you back your money immediately. Now, the real question is it worth risking your time to check this out? Which, if it does, even half of what I have claimed today on this webinar will pay for itself with your very next promotion or your next client. I guarantee you, if you get results, this money, you will get double of it in your next promotion or your next client. Or rather, other opportunities that can cost about 20,000 cedis, plus diction training, with you're getting everything right now for just 270 Ghana cedis. If I were you, I bet you I would take action right now. If you're ready to take action again, here is the account details. You can pay into the MTN Momo line 0540596352 Chukwebuka Ifesinachi Godwin, or our Vodafone line 0502328878 on support Chidima. Make sure you send your payment proof to the WhatsApp group immediately you make your payment. Because once we get 10 people, the offer goes back to 420 Ghana cedis. Yes, I have confirmed one payment already. So we have just 9 slots to go. Just 9 slots to go. So once the slots are filled, the fee goes back to 420 Ghana cedis. Plus, you will not get access to my bonuses again. Remember all the bonuses. So now you have two choices. Person one, you want to continue struggling with unclear speech and keep missing opportunities and feeling frustrated when you're asked to repeat yourself. Or you want to become the second person who takes action today, follows the system that I've worked for over 3,000 people and transform your speech in the next 6 weeks, which can open doors to new opportunity and confidence for you. Which person do you want to be? Again, you can be the second person, get access to a lot of opportunities, become more confident when you speak out there for just 270 Ghana cedis. Pay into MTN Momo line 0540596356 Chukwebuka Ifesinachi Godwin, or our Vodafone line 0502328878 in support Chidima. Remember, you're learning for 6 weeks, Mondays to Saturdays. Mondays to Friday, you learn anytime that works for you. Anytime at all that works for you. On Friday and on Saturday, we meet by 8 p.m. on Zoom, where we practice live. I see you, you see me. I see your mouth, you see my mouth. You practice, I correct you nicely. And also you have access to practice with other people in the breakout room, where you mingle with people from different parts of the world. So again, here is what you would get. You get access to the e-learning platform. You get lifetime access to the e-learning platform. Even after 6 weeks, you can keep learning and keep practicing. You get access to 55 practical training sessions. You get access to quizzes for state knowledge assessment. You get access to 12 live training sessions with interactive engagement, not like a webinar. It's not a webinar like this. It's an interactive engagement session. You also have access to a private WhatsApp group. And of course, you'd have access to support from the Diction Queen. So again, claim my unbeatable bonuses if you pay tonight. If you pay 270 Ghana cedis tonight, instead of 420 Ghana cedis, you get 20 short pronunciation videos. You get my vocabulary development PDF. You get my video on how to never be at a loss for words. You get my ebook on Know Your Silent Words. You also get my ebook on English punctuation marks. You get my ebook on 100 common grammatical errors and correction. And you also get my video on how to earn with your skills. Now, if you don't sign up immediately, it's either you're wondering if this would work for your specific situation, which I am sure, I guarantee you that it will work. If it doesn't work, I'll refund your money once you complain after 6 weeks. Reason 2, maybe you're not sure if you can commit to this program. Why wouldn't you even commit? Something that can change your life, change your career, change you from what you are now to what you intend to be. Or you've tried other things before and they didn't work. Of course, there's a saying that you have to keep trying until you try the right thing. And this right here is the right thing. Now, note that I am not a naturally gifted speaker. Neither am I someone with perfect genetics for speech, but I speak with great diction. And if I can do it, so can you. All you need is to get access to the e-learning platform, where you have bonuses to even join our 6 weeks live sessions at your convenient time. I also need to mention that the course comes with a certificate that you can use from any part of the world. You can use the certificate from any part of the world to learn, to get access to opportunities for promotions, etc. Remember, this course has been taken from over 12 countries in the world. And the truth is, we have not had any reason to refund anyone. Imagine me saying I'll refund your money if you don't get results. It's because I am so sure of you getting results. Here are the bonuses again. If you pay tonight, you get access to 20 short pronunciation videos. You get access to my vocabulary development PDF. You get access to my video on how to never be at a loss for words. You get access to my ebook on Know Your Silent Words. You get my ebook on English punctuation marks. You get my ebook on 100 common grammatical errors and their corrections. And also get my ebook on how to earn more with your diction skill. Here is the account details again. You can pay into the Momo, MTN Momo line, 270 Ghana cedis, 0540596356. Chukwebuka Ifesinachi Godwin. Or you can also pay into the Vodafone line 0502328878 on support Chidima. Once you make your payment, send your receipt to the group, please. Now, do you want to speak to impress anyone, anywhere, at any time? Then register right now. Take advantage of the 87% off, plus all the bonuses I will be giving you. And remember, if you follow my steps, follow my lead, and you do not get results in 6 weeks, I will refund your money. So you have nothing to lose. Here are the bonuses again. 20 short pronunciation videos, my vocabulary development PDF, how to never be at a loss for word video, Know Your Silent Word ebook, an ebook on punctuation marks, 100 common grammatical errors and their corrections, 10 commonly misused expressions and their corrections, and of course, how to earn more with your skill. Here is the account details again. MTN Momo 0540596356. Chukwebuka Ifesinachi Godwin. Okay, we have 8 slots to go. If you're still interested, make your payment right now. Or you can pay into the Vodafone line 0502328878 on support Chidema as well. So if you have questions, please ask your questions. If you have questions about the academy or you have questions about what we have learned, please send your questions so I can attend to it. Send your questions, I can attend to it. Remember how the academy runs? You learn at a convenient time, Mondays to Fridays. Each lesson comes with an assignment, an exercise that you get to do. All you need is just 7 minutes daily. And of course, on Saturdays and on Fridays, we meet on Zoom where we practice together at 8 p.m. Should you miss any Zoom session, we'll send you a replay where you can practice and send your feedback to the group. You also have access to the breakout room where you practice with other people to learn and master the diction skill. And after 6 weeks, once you're done with your course, with the lessons, and you submit your project, you get access to a certificate that you can use from in any part of the world to boost your CV, to boost your resume, for promotions, to get access to opportunities, etc. And of course, if after 6 weeks you do not get results, I would refund you the exact money you have paid. Do we have any question? Any question? Those of you on Zoom, do you have questions? Those on YouTube, do you have questions? If you have questions, please send in your questions. You can ask questions about the lesson, what we have learned. You can ask questions about the academy as well. So if you're really interested in changing your life and being a better version of yourself, then you should join the 6 weeks Diction Mastery Academy right now. You get to pay 270 Ghana cedis instead of 420 Ghana cedis. Any question? Any question before I end the session? So we have 8 slots to go. Once the 8 slots are filled, you will not get access to the e-learning platform again. You will not get access to the bonuses again, rather. You won't get access to the bonuses again. And of course, you will also not get the academy at 270 Ghana cedis again. It becomes 420 Ghana cedis. Okay, I guess there are no questions. I guess there are no questions. No questions from Zoom. No questions from YouTube as well. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.